Good evening, friends. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Surprise. No. This is my friend Anna Banana. We were sort of chatting backstage and thought, you know what? Why don't we just go live and toss some cards? So here we are, live and ready to toss some cards.
On what? We're not quite sure.
Yeah. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jen. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us on this fine Thursday evening. So in full disclosure, we thought that, I thought that after the hearing, if anyone was watching that, maybe you need to vent, maybe you need to ask some questions. Perhaps you've just had one of those kind of days because there's a whole lot of energy swirling around out there. And so I thought, you know what? Let's pop on and let's toss some cards. So we're here for it. Pop a question in the chat. We'll see what we can do to relieve the stress, give you some guidance, give you some answers. We're just going to have a fun time. Hi, Pierrette. Hi, Libra Lady.
Okay, before we start anything, I just want to say, Jen, thank you for putting a smile on my face because I saw your second name and it just reminded me of my grandmother.
Aw.
That was her maiden name.
So sweet. Let's put a banner up here, shall we? It says, do this. Whoops. It's not full moon readings.
Not full moon readings. Hi, Amanda.
I apparently have talk amongst yourselves while I get prepared.
Well, this is what happens when you do a pop-up.
Yes, that's right.
Things do not run as smoothly as you're used to. And that's okay. We're all human.
Thanks. I appreciate that. So please put questions in capitals. I have the worst keyboard in the world and it sticks, and my husband bought me a new one and I haven't hooked it up yet. So it's my own fault that I have to press every key 19 times and you never know what actually might happen. Sometimes I hit it and the whole thing erases. Sometimes I hit it and I get funky letters that I didn't even know existed. It's so much fun typing with that kind of a keyboard. All right. I think that I have managed to figure out what I'm doing. There we have it. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube. And please put questions in capitals. We can do whatever you want. Hi, Marie.
It's a pop-up, darling. Whatever goes.
Hi, Amanda. How are you, my dear? Hi, MJ. Hi, everybody. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. We would prefer to stay away from like legal and medical questions, but whatever you want. Oh, friends, can I show you? I got, it's a little hard to read. I thought they were closer. I got my new deck yesterday.
Oh, sweet.
This is the one.
Are the cards actually that big?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Would you like to see it?
Yeah.
All right, here's an unboxing. So it's a lovely little set. This is the One World Tarot that's by Lena and Sienna. So Lena Rodriguez and Sienna. And so far, the thing I'm going to say is that the book is extraordinary that comes with it. Okay. Now, just for example, the Lightseers deck. This is the book that you get with the Lightseers deck, which is actually, not bad. This, however, my friends, is the book that you get with the One World Tarot.
Wow.
It's amazing. Okay. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. This is the deck of cards. That's the back side. Lovely. And then on the front side, they're a little bit smaller than a traditional tarot. So Kelly's small hands can perfectly shuffle. And I'm very happy about it. Good cardstock. Nice bright colored pictures on it. So I haven't actually worked with it yet. But we'll put it out. And we'll see. And there's lots of information in the book. So I'm excited to sort of take a little journey with that. Oh, friends, and I have exciting news. So exciting. Well, I'm excited. I have been asked to join Johnny Tarot's Apprentice and another guest, who I'm not actually sure who it is at this moment, for a live stream that he's doing next Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Johnny Tarot's Apprentice channel to discuss tarot journeys. So all sorts of questions and stuff. Then he had put up a post earlier where people had, listed the questions that they, wanted answered about one's tarot journey. So I'm really excited about that. That's quite an honor to be asked. So, yay! And tomorrow, speaking of Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice, he will be here for Thank Spirit It's Friday. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank Spirit It's Friday is a wonderful, just like let your hair down sort of kind of day. It's a lot of fun.
It's a way to start your weekend.
Yeah.
A little goofy, a little sunshine.
Yes. So let's see what everyone's saying. I've got you, Lisa, and I've got you, Jen. MJ says that they're waiting for their deck. Marie says, I miss my kids, but that's a different soap script of my life. Marie, how about we throw a card for you, love? Let us know if you want one. Or some cards. So far, I mean, I haven't really worked with it yet, Marie, but I think that I'm okay. I got you, Pierrette. So far, the book is very impressive. As I was saying, normally you would have to buy a separate tarot book to get that kind of information with a deck of cards. Here's what I would say. If you are just starting out with tarot, and everybody's version and information and thought process is different, but the best advice that I can give you is you have to find a deck that speaks to you, right? Whether you like the colors of it or you like the imagery on it or something, you need to find something that speaks to you because you'll be engaged, you'll be interested. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the first step, in my opinion, anyways. Hi, Warrior Girl. Sunflower Down Under is here.
At the same time, based on what you said, some of the comments when you went to order it, there was a lot of really great feedback on the information that's in the book.
Yeah.
So for somebody who's never read before,
yeah,
and you actually want to know,
yeah,
the ins and outs,
yeah,
I would trust Lena and Sienna to give you the ins and outs with their deck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's a lot of, I mean, I just briefly went through it. I haven't taken even 5 minutes. I only got it today. But there's spreads in there. There's tarot tips. There's lots of different things. There's even a sample of a question. So they've tossed cards and asked a question and then given you multiple ways to read said question, right? So that's
Oh,
really,
that's a
really,
lot more in depth than I've ever seen any book.
yeah, and that's what I'm
Okay, I
saying.
definitely got to get me that sucker.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That book that comes with it is in my opinion more like buying a separate tarot book as
Yeah.
opposed to a guidebook, as it were, that comes with a deck. So far I'm really impressed, and like I said in the comments, because I ordered it off of Amazon, that's what everyone was saying, was that the book itself was worth it. No shade to the cards, just saying. Let me go back up here. So Sunflower Down Under says, hi Kelly and Anna, I have caught you live. I think it's a trillium, Kelly. I love it. MJ 420 says, I see more subscribers in your future. You're very kind, MJ, and from your lips to spirit's ears, my friend.
Amen.
Amen.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, honey. Warrior Girl is here. Hello, my friends. Thank you for being here. Yes, Marie, everyone needs clear instructions when learning tarot. Because and this is, I don't want to give too much away because I'm going there to Johnny Carroll's Apprentice to have this discussion. But in my opinion, as a reader, you have to have a set of sort of ethics, I guess you could call it, or a set of rules that you operate by. And I want to be able to give you the best reading that I can. So I think it's my responsibility to know the cards, know the meanings of the cards, before I sort of enact my intuition, if it were, if you understand what I mean. Hi, Ivana. So Warrior Girl says, speaking of tarot, I love little known facts. The first tarot, aka Major Arcana, was created by the Egyptian Paru. Yep. AKA, yes. And the Minor Arcana was stolen by the Gypsies from the Romans. I love that you know that, Warrior Girl. That's awesome. All right, so let's answer some questions. What do you think? Hi, Beverly Davis. Continued and hence are the OG Oracle cards. Whoops, that just totally skipped. Ever created, and it's perfectly okay to separate them when you are starting out. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. Look at that. It's the 13th, and we've got 13 people in here. Woohoo!
I forgot it was the 13th. Thank God it's not Friday the 13th.
Right? Well, now there's 14 people in here, so we can't say that anymore. But Marie, even for yourself, Marie, because throwing cards for yourself is actually harder than throwing them for someone else. You know what I mean?
You have to be willing to actually read what the cards are telling you and not put wishful thinking into the outcome.
Or your biases in there.
Yeah.
Like if you were reading on Trump, for example, for entertainment purposes only, you may have a preconceived opinion about how you want the cards to turn out. And so when you look at them, you may see things that aren't actually there. That can happen. Anyway, yes, Amanda, got to learn the rules before you can make or break them. I love that. All right, if anyone has a question, pop it up in the chat. Here we go, my friends. Lisa Foster is up on board here with, can I have a reading on my finances? Bum, bum, bum. Yes, you got to start and learn somewhere. I'm going to use my One World Tarot deck since I've got it out. But I do have my other decks just in case this one doesn't speak to me yet. All right, Miss Lisa Foster. Yeah, no, I got you, Warrior Girl. I knew what you meant. Everyone has their different method, right? I tried about 9 different methods before I found one that actually worked for me. Interesting, Libra lady. I like that dream. I like that download, and I like that thought. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate you, my friend.
Okay. From what I'm seeing here, you're making a bigger deal out of your finances than needs to be. And the reason I say that is it's telling you, yeah, stupid light. I'll fix it in a minute. This is a card of the desert. It's telling you to go within and actually look at where you're spending your money. It's not that you don't have sufficient, as you're being too free with it. You may not see it as you're being too free, but like from personal experience, my child comes to me and says, "Hey, Mom, I really need X, or I would really love to have Y." And I find a way to get it for them. I'm broke now, but I do it. You know, it's my kid. All right. When you're spending money, you need to make sure that you're doing it on stuff that brings you joy. Not, we all have responsibilities. Okay, great. You take care of your responsibilities. But we also have a sense of when we have extended family who has a hard time or whatever, we're always trying to help out, even when we put ourselves in a hole, so to speak. Okay. You need to make sure that when you spend your money, it is bringing you a sense of joy. Otherwise, you're always going to feel broke. You're not going to feel the benefits of doing what you're doing. Then you have the fire, which is all about your passions. When you spend your money bringing you joy, make sure it's something that's fueling your passion for future. I don't know if you have little ideas that pop into your head that you want to give a try. Maybe doing your own YouTube channel and whatnot. Maybe writing a book, whatever. Follow that passion because it will bring you more than you anticipate.
Yeah.
But it's telling you need to go within, go deep inside and kind of sort of shed light on where you're holding yourself back, where you're drowning yourself with responsibilities that are not yours. Okay. And you do not need to know how to fix everybody else's life. You need to go forward with your life. So you have a little unspoken dream. You don't have to know how it's going to end up. You just have to take the step and take it. And you will be surprised at the return.
So, Lisa, I don't know if you had seen that I put it up there. Lisa had said, well, I just spent $1,100 on a root canal, and I'm pretty sure that the tooth has to be pulled now. That's terrible, Lisa. I'm so sorry. And then she says, my house needs a lot of work, and I finally found a handyman, and now I have to stop the work.
Okay, Lisa, I would suggest when it comes to the root canal to call around, because a root canal, even without insurance, should not cost you that much money. And I do know that there are some dentists who have special pricing for people who do not have insurance, as well as payment plans for people who do not have that amount of money offhand.
Yep. No, she's like, it's too late. It's already done. Okay, so this is what I got, Lisa. It's not that much different than Anna's. I started with the double card, So this is the energy coming in from the past. Okay. Next to it is the Sun card, which is just an interesting combo, right? Next to that, we have the Seven of Swords. That's your challenge. Your outcome is the Justice card. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. So I feel like perhaps, you know, now that you've sort of said what you've said, my initial thought was that some issue that you may have had in your past, and I'm not saying that this is you, this is an example. So you were a young person, you got a credit card, and you kind of shopped till you dropped. It was a start your car moment, and you were like, you know, I'll figure it out later. Maybe you had to do some retail therapy in your life to make yourself feel better, and you got yourself in a situation where, you know, you sort of beat yourself up over it. It was a bit toxic, right? The devil speaks to us about those things, right? About gambling and being like a shopaholic or spending more than you have to spend, right? It's sort of the definition of being toxic in a way. The Sun is where you're at now, which implies to me that you are responsible now with your finances, right? That you save for the things that you want, and you know, your bills are paid, and like you're trying to navigate that whole road. The Seven of Swords as your challenge. So the Seven of Swords is, you know, it's thievery, it's backstabbing.
Oh.
But
Okay,
also,
that makes sense.
there we go. Okay. So, but it also is an opportunity for you to tap into the resources that you have and use those resources for your best self. If you understand what I mean by that, right? The Justice card is bringing those, you know, everything back into balance, your equilibrium in terms of your finances. It's fairness, right? Things are going to start to be more leveled out because this situation, as you navigate it, starts to make more sense and becomes more manageable, if that makes sense. The King of Swords is about speaking your truth and standing in that truth, being strategic and being sort of analytical in the way that you do things, right? So let's say that you have $100 and, you know, you got to pay this and you got to pay that and you got to pay this and you got to pay that, and you put all the money aside, and like you have got yourself, if you haven't, this is I think the way that your mind works, right? You've got it right down to the last dime, what you need to do and how you need to spend it. So I think that in terms of your question, I think that your finances are going to iron out as long as you stay on top of them. As long as you are truthful with yourself in terms of your budget as to what you can afford and what you cannot afford, right? And I pulled this card. This is the Angels of the Atlantis, and I've got Jovial and Forgiveness. And I want to say this to you, Lisa, because, you know, we've all been in a situation where we've spent more money than we should or spent more money than we have, and then we get ourselves in a bit of a pickle, right? Forgive yourself for that because you're course correcting at this moment, if that makes sense. No, I'm not saying that you're giving any money away or anyone's borrowing anything from you. The sabotage here, right? I mean, that's what the Seven of Swords is. The sabotage, it's sabotage, it's thievery, it's backstabbing, it's deceit, it's betrayal, but it is also an opportunity to tap into your resources, right? So that's your budget. That's your analytical side that allows you to set up your jars or your envelopes and say, okay, $20 to the electric bill, $5 to the gas bill, $10 to the cable bill, $5 to the phone bill. every day, every week, and put yourself on a really strict budget. That's using the resources that you have, if that makes sense. That's where I was going with that. So I hope that that helps a little bit. And I think that this here, this forgiveness is something that you really need to think about doing. Allow yourself to, I don't want to be cliche when it comes to your finances, because money makes the world go around, but wipe the slate clean and give yourself the permission to let that go. When you're in a tough spot, it doesn't really matter how you got there. It's how you get out of it and how you deal with it. That is the part that's going to keep you sane and inspired and motivated to move forward, right? Does that make sense?
Actually, what you were just saying kind of reminded me of what she was talking about earlier. The forgiveness, I think, may have more to do with any potential guilt she may feel for having lost her webpage.
Yes. Hi, Kristen.
Maybe some potential guilt for not letting go and saying, okay, I lost this domain name. Let me just start over. Maybe this is,
could be a sign from spirit that maybe you needed to revamp your website. Maybe you need to rename it. Maybe you need to, reinvent yourself, sort of idea. And I'm not saying that it is or that it isn't. I don't know that. But, it's like everything, right? One thing goes wrong, two things go wrong, I'm okay.
And then it seems like everything's out of control.
Right? Then three things go wrong, four things go wrong, and you want to throw yourself in the middle of traffic. And that's when it becomes toxic. That's when it's like something was stolen from you, right? Why is this always happening to me? How come I can't get past this? How come I can't get out from underneath it? Like that whole kind of thing, right? Well, here's the thing, Lisa, and I mean this with every bit of positivity and motivation and inspiration that I can possibly muster up for you, and I hope that it conveys through this screen. I think that you are great, and I think that, I don't know you personally, but I follow you on Facebook, and you are like such a hard worker. You are out there every day doing your thing and trying to live your best life.
And
your
website was doing good. It was at the top. Trusting yourself to get it back up there. It may take a little bit longer than you want it to, especially considering you were already there, and then you have to start over. But you have the skill set to get it back where you want it to be.
Yeah, and that's where that forgiveness comes in, right? Like, if it was stolen from you, if it was taken down, if it was hacked or whatever, that's not your fault. You did nothing to bring that situation on or to allow that situation to fester. It just happened. And now you have to correct it. And that's why the justice card came out, right? Fairness is going to be restored, right? Use your resources, be happy, live in the present moment, realize the blessings, because there are people that are a lot worse off. And I don't mean that to sound trite or to be rude to you in any way. I think that you understand what I mean, right? If we take that moment and accept what's happening and sort of give it over to whatever's going to happen, sometimes you allow yourself to sort of release that energy that's holding on to you, if that makes sense. Yeah, and no doubt they're probably charging you a fortune as well, right? So I hope that helped a little bit, Lisa. Thank you so much for asking the question. And of course, we send you all lots of love and our best wishes to make sure that you are, back on your feet and feeling good about the position that you're in. No, see, and that's the first step right there, right? She says, yes, I know, I'm very grateful for all that I have. And that's the first step to making a change, right? Breaking that toxic sort of negative, beat yourself up sort of situation, which is half the battle, in my opinion. Good for you, Lisa.
And that's usually the best thing every one of us are, the one thing every one of us are best at, beating ourselves up.
Well, we are our own worst critics. All right, Miss Jen is up on deck here. How can I get out of my procrastinating funk? I have homework and I'm doing everything but it. All right. I love the way you put that, procrastinating funk. I am a procrastinator extraordinaire. I procrastinate about procrastinating, if you want to be honest about it. I am the worst procrastinator. You are very welcome, Lisa. I mean, I'm so inspired by Lisa. She works so hard. Kristen Louise is another one. I mean, that girl is everywhere. She's doing 3 jobs and a family and. Okay, so I just literally got the devil that came out again. So I don't know what's going on, friends. Oh, that's awesome, Kristen. I'm so happy for you, my friend. Good job. She says my workshop on tarot went fine. I was too nervous, but it went pretty well, I think.
Good for you. Okay. Jen, obviously, I don't know you. But this is what the cards are saying.
It's a great way to start, isn't it? Things a tarot reader should never say. No, I'm just kidding.
There's something in your everyday life that is causing a certain amount of sadness. Okay, based on that beautiful smile I see in that picture, okay, I'm going to say when you are out in public, you present yourself as very happy, jovial, easygoing. You don't really let people in on what's really going on in your life. Meanwhile, even though you have this beautiful, sparkling smile, in the back of your mind, there's something that has you sad or worried that you need to deal with. It's basically telling you, because this is a stop card, it's telling you you need to stop focusing on this. Yes, deal with it. Yes, feel it.
Hi, geek.
But let it go when you realize there's nothing that you specifically can do to change whatever it is that's causing you to be sad. You have no control over it. Focusing on it is just doing you harm. If you can do that, you will start to move forward. And no, it's not telling you to go rushing out and getting it all done at once. Because part of homework is taking the time to actually understand the process of it. The whole reasoning for homework is to get you to, I can relate to that. Yeah. The whole thought process behind having homework is getting you to learn the whys and wherefores of the situation, all the ins and outs. So by procrastinating, yeah, you may superficially know what's going on, but you won't feel confident in your knowledge if you don't take that time. So don't rush through it. Take 15 minutes a night, 20 minutes a night, or if it's something that has to be done in 2 days, take a half an hour, take a break. Do a half an hour, take a break. Allow your brain to process what that homework is trying to show you. And with that, you will see a growth in your desire to actually do it. You'll connect to that little bit of passion that caused you to take those classes to give you the drive to do the homework assignments as thoroughly as possible. And you may even end up being the one who has the insight to help other people. But before all of it, you have to trust that no matter what, your son and you will figure it out in the end. You can't live in that sadness all the time and still go forward. You need to realize you can't make his choices for him. You can't determine how he feels about anything. The best that you can do is have a conversation with him. Explain your side of it. Be willing to listen fully to his side of it. And then realize what you can and can't change and learn to live with it. Try to move past it. You know, that as a parent whose son does not want to talk to her because his ADHD and Asperger's makes it difficult for him to actually communicate to begin with. And then when he gets his feelings hurt, he just shuts down. I understand where that clash would be. You want to be that parent, be helpful, be loving, be supportive, but they're not leaving you the door open to help. There's nothing you can do about that. Okay. All right.
Sorry, I'm laughing at my husband writing all of the crazy stuff in the chat. Barb, of course, feel free to ask any question. We want to sort of stay away from legal or medical, but go for it, my dear. Jen, this is what I've got for you, love. So we start out with the devil, as I alluded to in the beginning, and then following that, we have the star card. Following that, we have the Page of Wands. Following that, we have the Six of Wands. Lovely. Following that, we have the Two of Swords. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess. So, I feel like the reason that you're procrastinating is because you're allowing other stuff to get in your way. Now, I don't know what class you're taking. I don't know what homework you're doing. But I wonder to myself, and I don't know why, literally, has something occurred in the class or in the homework or in the course of study that has like made you feel less than enthusiastic, let me say, about what you're doing? Because I feel like you've shifted your something, like you're not really in it to win it anymore. And now I understand that, you know, what you've said about your son, and obviously that could contribute to the problem. But I think, I don't know why I'm picking that up, but I mean, the cards don't say that, but that's what I'm picking up is that you're just kind of like, whatever. There's something that has turned you off, or maybe you've changed your mind or something like that. But the cards say that, you know, you had a little bit of this situation, right? With the devil, the toxicity, the dependent sort of relationship or dependency on a person, maybe even. It just feels like constantly beating yourself up, constantly like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve anything good to happen to me, like that kind of thing, like really getting in your own way, like constantly hitting your head on the wall kind of idea. you know, where you're at right now is the star card. That is testing your patience and asking you to have faith, right? Have faith in yourself, have faith in your abilities, have faith in what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish, right? It is about believing, it's about hope, all of those wonderful things, right? It's your North Star, what's navigating you on the journey, right? The Page of Wands is about inspiration. It's about possibly a creative explosion going on in your mind. So you're the kind of person that literally like is walking through the house and like, oh, I could do that. Oh, what about that? Right? Which is lovely that you have all of these, you know, all these great things running through you. Like, you know, that's very inspiring and very motivating, but it also can be really overwhelming, right? When you don't sort of fine tune that, right? That could be causing your procrastination funk, is because you've literally got too much going in and nothing coming out, if that makes sense. You've got the Six of Wands. This is about your self-esteem. It's about victory. It's about success. It's about being recognized. And so that's your challenge. So you can do the work, probably with your eyes closed. But for whatever reason, you have put yourself in a position where you've now been faced with the Two of Swords, where you feel like you need to make a decision, one or the other. Something has to go in order for something to happen. With the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, this implies that you should be tapping into your inner wisdom, tapping into your patience to be able to come to a conclusion as to whether or not this is the right time for you, if this is the right thing for you, if this is the right moment for you. And I want to ask you to ask yourself, obviously don't answer us here, but I want you to ask yourself, why are you thinking that now? I mean, it's okay that you think it now, but why are you thinking it now? Do you know what I mean? Because if I started a program on Monday, and on Monday I thought it was the best thing in the whole world, and Tuesday it was the best thing in the whole world, and Wednesday it was the best thing in the world, and then on Thursday I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling it anymore. I need to have a conversation with myself to find out what happened. Where did I switch that, right? I pulled an oracle card, and I've got Wandering Path, Enjoy the Journey. And I just want to make a note and say that below the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, I have the Death card. Okay. And the Death card is about a restart in this case. And behind that, I've got the Eight of Swords. This is putting up your personal boundaries. So this is where your Sun comes in, I think. Right? This is you literally being stressed out, being... what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're exhausted trying to navigate this whole program. It's like you're chasing your tail around in a circle and you don't really know how to get back to center again. But you do. You do. You know how to do that. Jim says, oh my God, yes, always. I had hoped and dreamed of one thing, but I have been rejected from a program for 2 years and I feel defeated. Now I have been working towards another route, but I still have hope for that one dream. Okay, so listen, dreams are...
And she popped that up just before you popped out, the Wandering Path, and I was like, yep.
Yeah. So I would suggest that you have a conversation with yourself and find out, you know, if your goals or your intentions have, you know, your vision for yourself has changed. Maybe you need to make some readjustments. No, there's no harm, no foul in that. I mean, this isn't a beat you up thing. This is a celebrate you idea, because you have the foresight and the understanding of your own self and knows what's best for you. And also imagine on the flip side of that, how one would feel if I went through 2 years of schooling and went, oh no, you know what? I don't really like this.
But what I like about the reading and what she had said was,
So I just want
you
to
still have the desire
yes. So I wanted to
to
say
attain that dream.
yes. So I
You
want
just need to allow yourself to go with the flow, as Kelly was saying with the wandering path.
Yeah.
Spirit is guiding you into a specific way. Don't give up.
Right.
There's a possibility that
it's all
the
gonna
slight
overlap.
change in course load
Is what was meant to be.
needed to happen in order to get you further along in the process, rather than starting you at the beginning of that dream.
Right. Thank you for finishing my reading. Appreciate you. My colorful foresight. So yeah, Jen, just I would say check in with yourself, have a conversation with yourself as to try to understand why you feel the way that you do, acknowledge that you feel that way. You know, I would strongly urge you to do something as simple as clear off a shelf, clear out a bookshelf, go clean out your sock drawer, reorganize it. Sometimes when we clear up that kind of clutter that's around us, it actually helps to clear out the clutter in our mind so that we can think straight, write a pros and cons list as to, you know, why should you stay? Why should you go? What was the hope? What was the dream? What was the goal? And how has it changed? Because I don't know that it has changed. I think that you think your path has changed because the course changed, but I don't know that that's the case. But only you know that.
What do you think about?
She says, I applied for this program one last time. I said to myself that if I don't get in this program, then my path is changed. Okay. So may I share a story? So from the time I was 3 years old, I wanted to be a nurse. I've told the story here on the channel 100 times. We won't go into all great lengths of detail, but my grandfather used to be an overnight custodian at a local college in the city. And one time my dad, they had stayed over at our house. And so we were driving our grandparents back and we went into the school. And when I walked in, his office was shared with the first aid room. And I seen the big first aid box on the wall with the big cross. And I didn't know what it meant. And I asked what it was. And he said, well, I'm the doctor here. And I was like, oh my God. And I said, I wanted to be a nurse. And he said, well, you could be a nurse here at that school. When I was 19 years old, after 2 years of applying to nursing school and living every single day of my education life up until that point in school, taking only courses that would land me in that position, I finally got invited to what they call a registration. There were explained to us there that there was 1,100 qualified candidates and 200 seats available. So it was literally down to the alphabet lottery. So if your last name started with, F and they pulled all the Fs, you might get in. You want to talk about someone's dream going up in smoke. I remember standing outside at the phone booth. Yes, friends, that's how old I am. Standing outside at the phone booth outside the college before the orientation day started, calling my grandparents saying, get my room ready. I mean, since I was 3, I continued to apply to college for the nursing programs for probably 4 years. And it wasn't happening. And I needed to do something. I was now 20 years old and I was like finished. You know what I mean? Like my dream just went up in smoke. And I answered an ad in the local newspaper for a Parks and Recreation job, working with children. Well, there we have it, my friends. All I ever wanted to do was help. I wanted to help people. And I ended up working for the Parks and Rec department, where one day I went into my boss's office and he said to me, you're pretty good at this. And I'm like, pretty good at what? And he said, working with people, like you're a good people person. And I ended up going to college, and then I ended up getting a job in a group home. I supply taught for a local board of education for special needs children. I went into people's houses, and so it became my everything. And in a way, my vision never changed. I just wanted to help people. I was just doing it in a different way. And now I'm here doing this. And ha ha ha, my sister's a nurse. So I just think that's really sweet, right? But anyways, so she just said, "Oh my God, nursing is what yeah." I mean, Jen,
Going back to what you were
I
saying,
don't know if you have this in the States, but here in Canada, you can be like a healthcare aide. So you go to work. It is a course, but the course is shorter than obviously a nurse. You can't dispense medication, for example, but you can. I mean, you're still in that setting, right? You can take a course to work in a medical office. So you're in a doctor's office. So you're still in that field. Get a job in the hospital working in administration, get a job working for the x-rays, a lab technician. I mean, there's a million other things other than being an actual nurse. Do you know what I mean? Maybe look into some of that.
now going back to what you were saying earlier about the decluttering a sock drawer or whatever.
Yeah.
I do know that I find, for me, the best way to get get rid of a lot of procrastination is by rearranging a room. So especially the room that I'm in most often, if I get tired of looking at it, if it's always the same, it's just, you can't really get me to do much of anything.
Yeah.
And you'll pretty much notice that here pretty soon, because this room is about to change again. This is like the fourth time in 3 months?
Yeah, it hasn't been very long. It's been. Barb says my best friend is a nurse that burned out, and to that point that Barb made, being a nurse is so underrated, and it is an amazing sacrifice that people make, but it is not all that it's cracked up to be, my friends. Working shift work and holidays when everyone else is at home doing their thing, and you're slugging a 14-hour shift. So to Barb's point about her friend being burnt out, we thank her or him for what they do. But yeah, it's unfortunate that they don't have better sort of conditions, shall we call it. Pierrette is up next. Thank you, Jen, for the question, and I hope what we said helps a little bit, love.
Poor baby. Let's see.
As a friend of a friend, a friend of a friend lost a dog at bonfire last Saturday. Will she be found safe soon? Oh. Do you know what the dog's name is, Pierrette? Can you tell us? Oh, Jen. Amanda says, I love rearranging. I've been doing that since I was a kid. Hi, Sharon Sipe.
Used to drive my husband nuts. He'd go off to work, come home after dark, and literally walk into something because the room doesn't look the way it does.
I have the funniest story ever about rearranging furniture. If Pierrette doesn't mind that we just take a hot minute. I'll look for one in 1 sec, Marie. I did not see your comment about the phone booth. I'm sorry. Okay, the dog's name is Daisy, by the way. So here's my story. So Mark was driving long haul transport, which means he would leave on Sunday and come home on Friday. I was all by myself for the whole week, friends. And we had this little tiny house, and there was a room that was made into a room, but it was not actually ever supposed to be a room, if you know what I mean. And we had bought furniture before we moved into the house, because when you're standing in the room and you see it, you think it's like so big, and then you get the furniture in there and you're like, no, it wasn't really that big. Anyway, it was one of those deals, because why measure anything? I mean, that would be insane. So we bought a love seat and a couch, and they were brand new, and obviously you're not going to sell them. So I decided one day while we were talking that I wanted the love seat to go into my little room, which was my office. And he told me I was crazy and not to do it and so on and so forth. And so I waited for him to go on one of his trips. And then I snapped a few photos with my phone and sent it to him. And he's like, how in the hell did you get the love seat into the office all by yourself? And I'm like, I mean, hello, like, I'm not a weak link. I can do stuff, right? That's kind of what I said. So then a couple of months later, we're having a conversation and I am off to work because I had to work on a Saturday. And I said, you know, listen, I really don't like the love seat in my office. So if you could take it out and bring it back into the living room. And the reason was he was painting while I was going to work that day and painting the living room. And I said, well, if you could like do that, that would be great. Friends, can we just talk for a hot second? When I came home, the love seat was literally shoved in the doorway. Now stuck in the doorway. And Mark was like on the other side of it, inside the little room. And I was like, and had a sweat, look, the sweat's pouring off of him. And I'm like, what in the heck have you done? And he's like, I don't understand. And I mean, the air was blue, friends. He was cursing and swearing and yelling and screaming and sweating. And I'm like in hysterics. I'm like, how long have you been stuck like this? So literally, he tried to move it and he couldn't. So the point that I'm trying to make is not everybody has the ability to rearrange furniture. And or / not everyone should move furniture. We have other furniture stories that we could tell. Isn't that right, Kelmar? About times when you thought something would fit and then it didn't. And, you know, like the time when the cat fell down the hole that you made in the wall from trying to shove the couch through the wall because you were mad because you cut the corner off of the sectional couch to go down the corner stairs. And then you realize when you got it in the stairwell that you cut the wrong corner off and it was yet again stuck. For example, after the door was off and the banister was off and the railing was off, and then you just took the Sawzall to the couch and sawed it up in pieces in the basement. So anyway, we won't, we have lots of them, Amanda. You have no idea. Or like the time we went to IKEA and bought wardrobes for our bedroom. We were all excited our first home and we got them home and they sort of went like this. Okay, so here's my hand. Here's the floor, right? Here's the board. And it hits the ceiling. It's like 9 feet long and our ceilings are like 8 feet, kind of idea or whatever, right? Well, the store is closed because it's a long weekend and we're ready to go. Like we've got all the furniture out. We're ready to put these things together. And I said, he was like, what are we going to do? And he's like, you know, again, the sweat and the yelling and the screaming. And I'm like, you know what? So I said, I got an idea. Go downstairs to get your circular saw. And he's like, what? And I said, no, go get your circular saw. Got a circular saw. I sawed off the top part of the cabinets. And I'll tell you what, those cabinets lasted for 13 years standing there, my friends. And no one ever knew that we had to chop off 2 feet of each of the parts of the cabinets. And there was 2 of them. It made a huge mess. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know. Yeah, yes, Marie, 100%. That's why you measure first. Yes. All right. Pierrette, dog's name is Daisy. And I'm going back up here to read. You could go ahead if you want.
Okay. Here, what I'm not exactly well, obviously, I don't know what type of environment that bonfire was held in, but Daisy's feeling trapped. Now, I don't know if this is because I don't know how big the dog is or anything like that. I don't know if she fell into a little hole that she can't get out of, or if somebody found her already and brought her home and they have no idea of how to locate the owner. Either way, Daisy's feeling trapped. Now, there's a lot of wishful thinking going on about locating her, reuniting with her. But wishful thinking isn't going to automatically make things happen. Your friend needs to connect with spirit and with themselves, with the wisdom that they have, in order to tap into their strengths. Maybe they're popular. Maybe they have connections at the newspaper or the local community. Like Facebook has a lost and found for pets for specific areas. She needs to tap into everything, every source that she can possibly think of, and put out the call for hunting for her animal. And if she does that, they should get reunited.
Yeah.
Because I do see Daisy's wish being fulfilled to get home.
Will Daisy be found before the end of this week? Before, what day is it today? October 13th, right? So 14th, 15th. Will Daisy the dog be found before October 16th, 2022? Will Daisy the dog be found? Okay, so Daisy will be found before Sunday, according to my pendulum, and she is safe. The people are very upset. I got the Tower card. They're trying to keep their crap together, for lack of a better way to say it, with the Temperance card, right? Moderation, balance, trying to, like, think of all the things that they can do. So like Anna said, if the pet is microchip, putting ads up all over Facebook, knocking on doors, go to the bonfire location. Great idea, Marie. And take a blanket or something from the home, right? A toy of the dogs or something, and allow that scent to sort of, you know what I mean? Like put some food out.
Even the Humane Society, if the dog is not chipped, somebody could have found the dog and brought it to the Humane Society, and they're just waiting for somebody to locate the dog.
I've got the 3 of Wands as the possible outcome, but on the bottom of the deck, I've got the 3 of Cups. So, a celebration of sorts. The 3 of Wands, this is about your goals. So they have to come together and get a plan together instead of, and I don't, when you're upset about something and it's like, you think you did something, but maybe you didn't do it, or, everyone's doing one thing, but not everyone's covering all of the bases. And so that's something that I want to suggest. But I agree. When I asked the pendulum, is she stuck or is she trapped? And I got a yes. So I don't think that she's hurt. She's going to be safe. But I would spend all my time in that location, and I wouldn't leave because I don't think she's far away from there.
No, me neither.
Right. Hi, Ron. How's it going, friend? I hope that helps, and of course, we hope that Daisy is found safe and sound soon. That's a whole lot of S's, my friend.
I was just literally thinking the exact same thing.
MJ says, any message from my father, Edmund? He passed 10 years ago. Any messages from my father, Edmund? I'm going to use a different deck for that. Any message from MJ's dad, Edmund? Message from Edmund. Thanks, Pierre. I hope that everything is okay with the puppy. I call all dogs puppies, just FYI. MJ from his dad, Edmund. Go ahead, my friend, if you're ready.
It's a little confusing because I'm kind of like getting two different messages at the same time.
Yep, it's a roller coaster. Two different messages.
There's something.
Just up in that. I got a roller coaster message. So
yeah. There's something that you are really, really upset about.
Yep.
I don't know if that's something from the past that kind of like eats at you all the time, or if this is something recent that is just, but he's wanting you to let go, because the longer you hold on to this, the less likely you're going to be able to tap into all the little pleasures of life. It's like this is hiding this all the time. You're never fully in the moment, never fully appreciating all of the joy that they're trying to send you. You don't see it because you're still stuck here. The best way to get rid of this rage that's still stuck, you need to actually speak up. You need to stop swallowing and burying everything. Stop pretending that everything is copacetic. There's something that you bite your tongue about. And the more you bite your tongue, the more upset you are, not just with the situation, but with yourself. And it's kind of like, take the time to connect with your divine lineage. Take 15 minutes to just speak to your dad and tell him how much you miss him, how much you love him. Just release that love to him so that you can reconnect properly. You have no problem if you take the time to talk to him randomly. When you least expect it, you won't need us to give you a message, because he will be speaking directly to you through dreams, through ideas that make you say, oh, Dad would have loved that. The connection is there if you're willing to reach out and solidify it.
I got you, Marie and Amanda. Hi, everyone who's popped in. Hi, Marcia. And yes, Marie, I did see your comment. She said that I was on the phone speaking so fast to my mom, back to the nurse story on the phone booth, that, because I called collect. Actually, yeah, no. That's cute, though, Marie. Appreciate you. All right. MJ, my friend, interesting message that we've got here. We start out with the Ace of Water. Okay, so I'll just show you the cards and then I'll tell you what I think, right? We've got the Ace of Water or the Ace of Cups. We have the Three of Air or the Three of Swords. We have the Six of Pentacles or the Six of Earth. We have the Five of Water or the Five of Cups. And I got the King of Air. So I'm not sure if your father is an air sign or not. Which is what? What is an air sign? You would think that I would have these flippin' things memorized. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Now, I got also things hidden beneath the surface. Something unknown. And I pulled out the Angels of Atlantis, and I picked the deck up, and I literally thought when I started to shuffle that I let one slide out. Like sometimes that happens, right? And it was gratitude. And then I picked it up and I looked at it and I put it back in the deck and I shuffled and it came out again. So we'll get that in a moment. So Ace of Water. This is about emotions and your relationship, right? The Three of Air is heartbreak. It's sorrow. It's forgiveness and it's healing. The Six of Earth is about charity and generosity. It's about giving and receiving. It is about possibly a windfall. And then the Five of Water is disappointment. It's regret. It is the crying over spilt milk card, as they say. It's also about forgiveness. The bottom of the deck with the King of the Air, that is, that person who stands in their truth, who is knowledgeable and objective and is highly and well respected by their community at large, right? So I feel like your dad's message to you is he wants you to forgive yourself. In other words, whatever it is that you're holding on to, let it go, because it's not serving you well. And it's hindering your progress. It's hindering your happiness. Because your cards are like a roller coaster, right? You've got ups and you've got downs, and then but they're big ups and big downs in terms of the emotions that I feel that he is feeling towards you. He loves you. I think he's trying to communicate with you, as Anna said, with that Six of Earth. That's that giving and receiving. He's trying to from the other side pull you in and embrace you, right? And sort of envelop you, shall we call it. But you are so distraught and heartbroken. I'm not saying that you're running around crying your eyes out all the time. I don't mean that. But some issue or some umbrella issue has got you sort of locked in and you won't let it go. Right? We've got that beneath the surface card. So that is hidden truth, something unknown. It is possible that you, just like I, didn't actually know why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. I didn't know that I had any other stuff other than just the fact that my mom died, and it was awful. And then, the day after my mom died, I found out my father was dead or dying. I mean, do you need more? You know what I mean? I didn't realize there was a whole bunch of stuff underneath that. So that's something that maybe you can pay attention to or think about, right? We have passion and pleasure. Savor your life. Savor your life. Now, I don't want to sound trite, friends. I do not want to sound trite. Please do not misunderstand anything that I am saying. But this card fell out for a reason, because it's my message to you about gratitude. That is how I healed myself. By understanding what gratitude meant and by letting go of the past. I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you go to my channel page, type in the little box there, forgiveness ceremony, and watch the forgiveness ceremony that I did. I hope that it will help you, and I hope that it'll give you some sort of inspiration as you move forward to be able to release whatever it is that you may be holding on to. You may not even be aware of it, if you understand what I mean, like to the depths or even to the damage that it could have already done or been doing to you, right? The last thing that I've got is this, which is Metatron and divine intelligence. And so this is your dad's way of letting you know that he is there, he's helping, he's guiding, he's trying to nurture, he's trying to teach, he's trying to assist, I want to say, gentle guidance, and help you sort of feel the embrace and let some of this go so you can bring more joy into your life. I think that's the message for your dad, which is beautiful, right? Please, if you can, go to the channel and check out the forgiveness ceremony. It literally changed my life. So I hope that it will do, give you a spark of something that might help, my friend. Thank you for asking that question.
I like how your last card was Metatron and my last card was Divine Connection.
There you go. Right? Isn't that awesome?
Miss me.
All right. So I think, who said that they had to go to bed soon? I think that was Barb's Wheel, right? Yes, Barb's Wheel. You're next, Barb. So Barb says, my question is, will I pass the French test? And then I did see her write in there, despair. So, hi, Tracy. All right. Will Amanda pass the French test?
She is literally blocking my access to my desk and my cards.
Thanks, MJ, for asking my question. All right. Will Barb pass her French test? Will Barb pass her French test? That's a big yes. Let's throw a card or 12 to see. I'm just kidding. Not 12. Oh, I need a couple. Will Barb pass her French test? It's hard to shuffle over top of a cat, no?
She's literally, I have to shuffle over my own lap because she has literally taken over my desk.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
That doesn't count. 15 cards is not an answer. And then she stretches out and gets more comfortable.
Is there some kind of conflict going on with this French test? Some kind of conflict? I don't know. Are you having trouble with like a student or the teacher, or there's something? There's something there. I got the 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and I see you right now, sort of taking a bit of a needing to like do some self-care, some pick you up kind of stuff. It feels like either there is a lot resting on this test, like the results of the test, or that you are putting a lot of pressure on yourself.
Okay, well, that makes more sense. Because the first card I got was confidence. You need to have self-confidence.
Yeah.
Then you've got the mystery. Why is it a mystery? If you have confidence, you should already know that you're going to pass this. To me, it's more of what's going to happen after you pass this.
Yeah.
Because to me, you are passing it. The reason I say that is because literally the very next card is success.
Yeah.
You've got that big old sun shining down there on you. With that success, with you passing that test, you're going to find unexpected growth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to illuminate a new path for you, one that you were not expecting. That's what I got for you, darling.
I started out with the Hierophant, so that's the school, that's the job, the government, that you're talking about. She said it will get me a job in Ottawa, so I'm assuming that that's the government,
cool.
right? That the Hierophant's about traditions, beliefs, government, institution. So literally can be the school, the job, whatever. We've got the Four of Swords, that moment where we need to sort of just look after ourselves. It's kind of like a lazy Sunday morning, if you know what I mean. We got the Page of Cups on the in the outcome position. And so, one more moment, the Five of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Now I want to show you what's underneath that, right? This is how we are right now. So if you are putting a whole lot of pressure on yourself to get this done or to pass this test because of the things that are going to happen the way that you think they're going to happen in the future, you're putting way too much pressure on yourself. And that is why you need to take that break. That's why that's self-care, because you're putting all this extra pressure on yourself. Having said that, underneath that, we've got the Six of Pentacles, so giving and receiving, right? You got to study to be able to do well. You've got to look after yourself. If you want to be the best version of yourself to take that test and have great results, you got to look after yourself, right? Eat right, sleep right, all that good stuff. And below that, we have the Nine of Cups. That's your wish fulfillment, right? So all your manifested dreams coming true. So is it going to happen? Yes, it is. Is it going to be easy? It might be, if you decide to just give it your best shot and not treat it, like if this doesn't happen, everything else in my life is gonna suck. And I'm not saying that you're saying that, but that's kind of what the cards are sort of telling me, right? Don't be so hard on yourself. Just do your best. And maybe if you lower the expectation just a little bit, you might be able to achieve what you're wanting to just a little bit easier without so much, like, oh, you only got 97. Why couldn't you get 98? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sort of vibing off of that. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I got. Hope that helps, my friend. We wish you the best of luck, of course. And we hope that you... So should I go to bed? Sorry, I can't read. So I should go to bed, get rest, and practice. Yes.
Yes. And I'll throw you some Spanish. Sí.
Oh my God. All right. Hi, Joan. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. We appreciate all of you. Miss Amanda is up next. Then we have Marie with her question. Yeah, you just need to prove that you're bilingual. And I mean, I can see how that would mess you up. I mean, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. But if you've put in the work and you've put in the study, there comes a point in time where you have to believe in yourself that you've done everything that you can, right? You're welcome, my dear. Merci beaucoup. Marie, you crack me up. All right, Miss Amanda says, if possible, I'd like to know if my grandma Elna, great aunt. What's that?
I had to say it out loud in order to connect. For some reason, as I was looking at it, my brain was reading Elena, and I'm like, that's no.
Or great aunt Carol have any message for me? Everybody's speaking different languages in the chat. I love it. Barb says she uses a language app every day. That's awesome. Have a great night, Barbara. Hope you get to have a good night's sleep, and we wish you sweet dreams, my friend. Let us know how you do in the test, of course. All right, Miss Amanda. Does Grandma Elma? Huh. Grandma Elna has something to say. Message for Amanda from Grandma Elna. Message for Amanda. Grandma Elna. You're so cute, Ron. I so knew you were going to do that. Good night, boss boy. Yeah, I don't speak French.
I have no true understanding of what this means. All right. There's something. This is the forbidden card. There's something that it's almost like there's something in the past that nobody's allowed to talk about. I don't know if that was Grandma's decision, because I only focused on Grandma Elna, or if that's your decision. But somewhere along the line, there's some kind of issue that y'all are not allowed to talk about. It was literally an oath that one of y'all made. I will never discuss this ever again. But a lot of times when people see the moon, they automatically think of a negative aspect of people hiding information, people hiding, the lying, being sneaky and conniving. However, if you notice, this is a really bright moon. There are times when you yourself see, it's like mentally you're replaying whatever this forbidden subject was, and you're every now and then you're catching it from a different perspective. And you're being asked to catch it from a different perspective. Because whatever that forbidden topic was has done a lot of damage to your self-worth. And that's what Grandma wants you to feel worthy of who you are. Feel powerful. And she knows it's complicated. She knows it's not something that's going to happen overnight. But from her side, she's always sending you love and help so that you can understand your true self-worth. Debbie Grandma.
I didn't get anything like that.
Wow.
I asked for a message from Grandma Elna, and I get what Anna's saying. I picked up on it in some. I pulled like an Angel of Atlantis card. It was the last card that I pulled, and literally one fell out and two sort of slid sideways. So I'm like, yes, we have to take those. So it's kind of implied there, but here we go. We've got the 9 of Cups. That's how we start out. Wish fulfillment, dreams coming true, everything that your heart desires. I'll tell you what all the cards are, and then I'll sort of tell you what I think, right? We've got the 3 of Wands next to that. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the Lover's card. And we've got Temperance on the bottom of the deck. And I've only just lifted this up now, so I don't know what's below it, but what's below it is the Devil. So, what I feel like is that Grandma Elna is, if that's how you pronounce her name, hopefully we're pronouncing it correctly, that she is, sort of with you, watching you, wishing the best for you, right? Wanting you to keep on your path and go for your goals, right? I feel like she is either trying to inspire you or saying here that she sees that you're inspired. I don't know if you dabble creatively, if you like draw pictures or write books, or there's some kind of creative thing that's coming out here with the Page of Wands. So I'm not sure if that's her or if that's you, but that's coming out. The Lovers is about, your relationship. That's your soulmate, the blending of your energies. So it's possible that if she doesn't know if you have a partner, that she's approving of your partner, or that this is her connection to you in terms of being in harmony with each other, right? You've got the balance and the moderation on the bottom of the deck, and I feel like what she's saying to you is, if you just keep yourself as balanced as you can, because I mean, hello, don't we all try to do that, that you're going to stay on a nice path for yourself, right? Now here's where some things might be different. We've got letting go of urgency, surrender, freedom from time constraints. So if you're one of those people that is working on a schedule, kids are going to different practices, Mondays football, Tuesdays skating, Wednesdays cooking class, whatever it may be. If you are like a go-getter, constantly like like eating and running kind of idea, she's asking you to let go of that. She's asking you to dial that back. That's why you got that balance card, right? She's asking you to think about the choices that you're making so that you're not running yourself ragged, if that makes sense. We've got a breaking trail. A breakthrough is at hand. So if you have been, I don't want to say struggling. Struggling seems like it's too strong. But if it just feels like, oh my gosh, I just need a moment. You know what I mean? If you're feeling that, she is sending the message that something's going to give, so it will be more clear. Again, that's that Three of Wands. The vision is going to become clearer to you. Now, this is interesting. The first card that I got that flopped out is this is from Archangel Michael, and this is enchantment, right? This is the unicorn. This is the connection. This is her connecting with you, you connecting with her, your connection with spirit. I think you talk to her. I think she gives you signs and symbols all the time. And then these two cards came out at the same time. We have Archangel Zadkiel and Archangel Sandalphon, evolution and surrender. That's the third surrender. No, two surrenders that I've got here for you. So that's what I was saying, that this is where what Anna was saying is being picked up, right? So if you can surrender, letting go of time constraints, letting go of, I've got to get this done, I'm not doing it fast enough. There's some, I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but there's something about this time constraints where I don't know if you're punishing yourself constantly that you can't get things done fast enough or not in a timely fashion, or if you're like a workaholic, where you don't know where 5 o'clock sort of comes, do you know what I mean? And like finish the day and then take your time. Only you know that. I don't know that, but there's something in that. If you can let that go and manage your time better, that's when the balance is going to come. And when the balance comes, that's when you're going to have a breakthrough, because you will literally have evolved and you will have surrendered whatever it is that may be a burden to you without you actually realizing that it's a burden to you. That makes sense? And it's like, yeah, it makes sense to me.
Well, I find it funny because reading her comment earlier and listening to you, it was like, yeah, I could see where she would have a certain amount of rage at not having the funds that she feels that she needs in order to do what she wants.
Yeah, I didn't read any of those comments.
Because you were talking about struggles. She says, I do as little as possible because of money struggles.
Yeah. So Amanda says, I'm going all the way back up here. So she is love. Tricky stuff, though. You got it, Elna. Artistic, yes. I do as little as possible. Money struggles. Wow, okay. And my goodness, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that made some sense to you, Amanda, and thank you for asking the question. Of course, you know, this is the thing, you guys, you know, and no matter who you are, no matter what path you're on, no matter the circumstances, please just try to always keep in mind that our loved ones are with us and they watch over us. We may not feel like they're, the presence at a particular moment, or when you're in a tough spot, that's when you feel like you need, their presence, or to be aware of their presence, to know that their presence is around you. Ask them.
Yep.
Ask them for a sign. Just start talking to them. Ask them before you go to sleep. Ask them to come to you in a dream and help you. And then you'll notice things like synchronicities where, you'll be seeing numbers, or you'll hear a song playing that'll make you think of something. All of a sudden, a friend that you haven't heard from in a long time will call you and say the exact same thing that you were just saying to your grandmother a couple of days before that, if that makes sense. So just try to keep that in mind. I know that it's difficult when you're in a tough spot and you're missing the people that you love. But that helped me an awful lot, was to know that my mom was around me, and I talked to her ad nauseum, because y'all know I can talk. And I talked to my mom like every day. And at a certain point, I actually freaked my sister out, because I'd be like, oh yeah, I talked to mom today. And she was like, well, And she was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, talk to them. If nothing else, you've released, and it's actually helped you and made you feel better.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part, because no matter what, they don't want you feeling any sort of way. They don't want you upset. They want you living your best life. Right, my friend?
Yep.
Amanda says, I'll have to re-listen. Absolutely. All right, my friends. 1 hour and 38 minutes. This has been so much fun. Does anyone have a question before we go? Pop it in the chat real quick. Want to remind everybody that tomorrow, thanks Spirit, it's Friday. Johnny Terrell's Apprentice will be my guest. 3 p.m. Eastern. Be here or be, as they say. And then on Saturday night, I will be on with Ron Unconditional Love. That's 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. On Sunday, for Sunday Connections, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have Nancy Jean from Nancy Jean's Garden coming, and we're going to be doing past life readings. If anybody here follows Nancy Jean uses her Oracle Garden, where she throws crystals, and she actually has another one that she's just sort of developed along with another person, which is the Past Life Garden. So that's what we're going to be using for, as well as cards, for the past life readings. So hope you can tune in for that. What else do I have to tell you? Well, I have you all here listening on next Tuesday. Circle of Friends has moved its date and time, so that's my collaborative channel with Allie from Heart and Soul Connected. We're moving to 1 p.m.
Who you were having?
What's that?
Don't ask me why, but for some reason it was like you were having a guest or something.
No. So on Tuesday for Circle of Friends, we'll be on at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Not that anyone's going to remember all this. This is the way that my that my brain works. Oh, Marie, you have a question. Sorry, my friend, we have to answer your question still. This is the way that my brain works, because I literally like sort of take a snapshot of my schedule, and this is the way it goes, right? It goes in order. Next Wednesday, I have been asked to go to Tarot's Apprentice. So Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice on his channel at 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday, where we will be talking, myself and him and another guest, we'll be talking about our tarot journey, and answering a whackload of questions. So that proves to be informative. So I hope everyone can tune in for that. And of course, please don't forget to check out my friend Anna Banana if you haven't already done so. She's lovely. She's a great reader. And my friend. And oh, crazy. Let's put Marie up on the screen. What else? I was going to say something. Now I forgot what the heck I was going to say. Do you know what I was going to say? Let's see how psychic you are. No, I'm just kidding.
I have no clue. I was not focused on you. Little Missy Foo-Foo just will not move.
Got you. Bye, Ron. Have a good night, my friend. I'll see you on Saturday.
Hi, Ron. Come on, baby, move. You're going to make mommy be ugly.
Yes, friends, I'm really excited about that as well, Joan. It's a great honor to be asked to go to Johnny's channel, and I do want to say that as I approach my year anniversary is coming up for the channel, and as I approach that year, I've been doing an awful lot of reflecting and an awful lot of thinking, and I'm just so appreciative and so grateful to each and every one of you for all of your love and your support and your friendship and your kindness and your encouragement and, the trust and the sharing. And I'm just, honestly, I'm moved beyond words. And I can't thank you enough for being a part of my journey. So thank you to everyone who is here and who will watch this back on replay for all that you've done. Let's answer Marie's questions. Dozen cats, wellness. Does my friend Fernando have a message for me? I don't want to use this card.
I just have to ask Marie, this friend for Fernando, was he like a best friend type of friend or just a regular friend?
Oh, okay, Sharon. We wish her the best of luck. We're sending her lots of love and prayers.
Oh, wow.
Positive vibes. She's getting, I think it's a knee replacement she's getting, right, Sharon?
Kind of in between.
Yeah. Message for Marie from Fernando.
All right. The reason why I asked that.
Thanks, Amanda. You're very kind, my friend.
Is that I find the first two cards weird to come from just a regular everyday friend. The first card is fire, ignition. He's literally telling you to fire your passion, your soul's passion, not the superficial things that we want, what your soul truly desires. He wants you to fire that up.
Okay, all right. Did you see that? I know why you asked that question.
He's telling you that you have the magic to do anything you wish. It's like we have a tendency to forget that we're just a tiny part of a connection to a greater universal connection. But each and every one of us have that filament that is connected that allows us to create whatever magic we want. So long as it's a in-depth, soul depth, passion, desire, not a superficial monetary or something that you need to create. That's what he wants you to look towards. Working towards that, you have your magnetism card. It's like when you ignite that passion, the people, the community that you need to achieve that goal, you're just going to draw them in. You're going to be the catnip of the group, basically. And before you know it, you're going to be moving in directions and at speeds that you never anticipated. It's going to take you further than you'd ever dreamed. That's why he's trying to get you to ignite. Because if you don't ignite, just like anything, you don't take that first step, you don't follow that passion, you're just standing still. And what's the sense? Okay?
Bear with me here for just one sec. There we go. All right, my friend Marie. So it's interesting that Anna started out with fire because I literally pulled the Queen of Fire. You're a Leo, right, Marie? If memory serves. So that's you. In all your Leo-ness, right? We have the Page of Fire next to that. We have the Lover's card next to that. And then we have the Death and Rebirth card in the, or the Release card, as it's called in this deck, in the Outcome position. On the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Water. So I'm not sure if he was a water sign, which is a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. But we have this on the bottom of the deck. I pulled out 2 chakra. Yeah, that's right.
Serious fire. There's some serious fire there.
Yeah. Thank you, Tracy, for putting those links up. So I pulled 2 chakra insight cards. I got one from the solar plexus chakra and one from the third eye chakra. So your solar plexus chakra is the chakra. If you look on the back side of the card, it's where the yellow dot is, which is right here, right? So just above your navel. Okay. You left my little pointer. This is where you, this is your empowerment. This is your awareness. This is your assertiveness, your authenticity. If that makes sense, that's what that chakra sort of speaks to, right? And then your third eye chakra, you got insight, which is understanding, awareness, and self-evaluation. And it's interesting to me because they sort of go hand in hand. Like you can't have awareness of who you are unless you have the empowerment to stand in who you are. Do you know what I mean? I've got these 2 cards here from the Angels of Atlantis. So one is from Raphael. Both of them are from Raphael. One is empathy, and the other is, Earth Force. Okay, so what I'm getting from this message is this, that I think that you may have realized since Fernando has passed that you might have felt more for him than possibly you were aware of. That his passing really has affected you, and I don't know that you necessarily expected to be that affected by it, if that makes sense. Sometimes there are losses, and sometimes there are profound losses, and no matter your relationship with people, sometimes you find yourself so lost in the emotion of the situation that you almost have surprised yourself. Like, I didn't know I cared kind of idea, without sounding rude, right? I think that his message to you is that he wants you to take your fire, right? Your sense of empowerment, your sense of your Leoness, your sense of inspiration and creativity, and your sense of authenticity, who you are at your core. He wants you to use that to pick yourself up, to be the force that you are, right? I mean, you've got like the earth force, right? Look at that card, whipping up the wind, going with the flow, going with the movement, shooting for the stars, aiming for the sky, all of that beautiful sort of all those analogies, right? He wants you to tap into that because we both know that you have that in you, right? Use that to your advantage to pick yourself up, to inspire yourself, to motivate yourself to go forward. And I'm not saying that you've like thrown yourself down on the floor in a fetal position, but this is his message. He wants you to just do you in the way that only you can, right? Now, the empathy card. I think this is his way of acknowledging that he knows who you are and he knows how much you cared. And he loves you for it. But don't get lost in it. Right? Don't get lost in your empathy. In other words, don't give too much of yourself to feeling sad that he is no longer here. He's not physically here for you to talk to, but he's there for you to talk to. He's actually closer to you now than he was before in a way, because he's always around and you can communicate with him whenever you want, if that makes sense. Right? That's what I got for you. I hope it helps a bit.
What I loved was right after I had made the comment of she'd be able to move forward faster, farther. She pops out with, he told me to work on my truck. And I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that, I mean, because you got that fire, you got that, the page of fire, that inspiration, that creative juices, the taking action, like, get after it.
Following your passions.
Yeah, don't wallow in the upset. Use your upset to motivate you. And I know it's hard. It's hard, but I think that you know that you can do it. I think that he wants you to do it, and that's his way of sending you some encouragement and letting you know that he believes in you, which is like the best message in the world, really. All right, my friends, I think that should call it a night. Let's pull a card for everybody, shall we? Yeah. Oh, no. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Please do show my friend on a banana some love. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already done so. I would appreciate it. You're very welcome, Marie. I send you lots of love, my friend. Many blessings. Wow. That is a cool card, Kel. Thank you, Spirit.
Okay. I pulled a card and I wasn't sure what it was trying to tell me, so I had to pull a second one. That's it. Your first card are the etheric quartz. And a lot of people, when they hear the word etheric, they automatically assume we're talking about the spiritual connection to our ancestors. But with this card, it's actually more in the sense of the ties that bind us to the here and now and what keeps us from moving forward. We're being asked to cut those cords, the ones that keep us from moving forward, hold us back, make us feel like we are trudging through a swamp.
Mhm.
They're not good for us. The reason we're being told to cut them is because the sooner we cut them, the faster we will be able to appreciate and give gratitude to the things that we have already manifested. We cut these cords and we actually open our eyes to the truth of what we already have, what we have already accomplished. And there's nothing more beautiful than having an appreciation for the work that you've already put in.
Well said, my friend. I have this card here. This is from the Soul's Journey Oracle. This is the Death card. Okay. And it says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And so because I want to pull 2 cards, I had to pull because that's just how I operate. And I got this lovely, lovely card of the Swan, which is grace. And the message is beautiful. You who glides across the water of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty.
Wow.
New beginnings, my friend. New beginnings.
Amen to that one.
All right, my friends. With that, we love you lots. We hope you have a good night. And we wish
Good night. Sweet dreams. Love you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here and for trusting us with your questions. We appreciate all of you. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out. And until we see each other again, mwah, many blessings. Bye, everybody.